like ripped out my whole eyelash. Hey, what's up? I'm Allie and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I kind of have a 2-for-1 in that the main reason is that I want to do a 5-star predictions video. Everyone else is doing them. They seem really fun and I want to join. Okay, I feel left out and I want to tell you my 5-star predictions. The problem with predicting 5 stars for me is that I don't go into any book assuming it is a 5-star read. Ever. I like to think that I'm pretty picky with the 5 stars that I give out. Most of the time, things that I really like are between a 4 and a 5, and things that I even consider favorites tend to be 4.5s for me. So 5 stars really have to, you know, they just really gotta hit all the feels, they gotta be something I really enjoy, and I have to enjoy most of the writing. Now, that doesn't mean that every 5-star that I've ever read is perfect. It's just been perfect to me. That being said, of course, I like to go into every book assuming that I'm gonna like. So I had quite a hard time narrowing down things that I truly believed I would give 5 stars. Now, this is also kind of going to be a new releases of 2020 that I'm looking forward to, like my most anticipated releases, because I'm going to have 2 separate sections, the first one being the new books coming out for the year, and then the second one being backlist books. I had never heard the term backlist before the past like 3 months, and I had no idea what anyone was talking about. I was like, are these, like, is that a special term that publishers use? Like, time a book has already just been published, it's just a book to me. And then if it hasn't been published, it's an upcoming release or new release. Okay. Just nitpicky apparently today. So I'm going to talk about the 2020 releases first that I am expecting to be 5-star reads for me. These are my most anticipated releases. I'm going to start off with 2 right off the bat just because they're my favorite authors. The first one being Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. Now the reasons for this, me believing this will be a 5-star prediction for me, is that one, it is by J. Kristoff because he is just an amazing writer. It's by J. Kristoff, who is one of my favorite authors. Obviously, the Nevernight series is one of my favorites, and that was one of his adult fantasies, and now this is also going to be an adult fantasy, and I'm so excited because it is obviously vampires. Now, I have read a decent amount of teen vampires, and I liked them when they were the trend, but I've been a little disappointed in recent years because there just isn't enough blood, guts, and gore for me for it being about vampires who really like blood. Oh, I am highly anticipating that this is going to be the vampire book that I really need because J. Kristoff does not shy away from blood, guts, and gore. So, give it to me. Give it to me. He also writes incredibly great, some of them hot and steamy, sexy scenes, and I'm very excited about that. So this takes place, I believe, in a world that has been run by vampires for quite some time, and this follows Gabriel, who is a saint of the church and is in charge of protecting the church, but he's in jail now for killing, like, the vampire king, and this deals with him telling his life story and how he came across the Holy Grail, which everyone thought was a cup, but he finds out it's an angsty teenager and how that all happens, and apparently there's a forbidden love that caused the downfall of everything, and how is the Holy Grail coming into this, and yeah, sounds exciting. The House of Earth and Blood, and this is by Sarah J. Maas. Again, another one of my favorite authors. You guys can say whatever the heck you want to say about her. But I love her writing, and that's just what it is. Court of Mist and Fury is still one of my all-time favorite books, and I don't give no damns what y'all gotta say about that, so it just is what it is. So I'm very excited because this is Sarah J. Maas. I really love her characters. I went from absolutely hating Manon in the Throne of Glass series to her being my ultimate queen. But I'm just very excited to meet this new cast of characters. I'm also excited because it is her first adult romance, and we saw that she held nothing back in her YA romances, so I am excited. Soapgate 2.0, here we come. What is this even about? I don't know. Look, I added these things. I have given almost every Sarah J. Maas book a 5-star up to this point, I believe. The only exceptions would probably be A Court of Frost and Starlight, or whatever the hell that was. This follows Bryce, who has been living the best of life, and then her friends are murdered by a demon. So the person is apparently in jail, but then these murders continue to happen. And then this also follows Hunt, who is some sort of, like,
fallen angel or something along the lines of that, and he is currently like imprisoned by the people that he tried to take down, and in order to get out of this kind of imprisonment, he has to help Bryce solve these murders.
When they dig into the city's underbelly, they discover a dark power that threatens everything and everyone they hold dear, and they find in each other a blazing passion. Woo! So I'm excited. So it's like a fantasy murder mystery, I guess. Here I thought we was going back into the Fae lands, but you know, maybe that will never happen. It's like she's given up on us in the fairy world. But we got this in the meantime, so I'm excited for it. I think that I am going to give it a 5 stars. Next we have The Shadows Between Us, and I was expecting this to give it 5 stars, and I will say I have already read this. I actually made this list weeks ago, and I'm just now filming it, but in that meantime, I got an arc of The Shadows Between Us, and I read it, and I did give it 5 stars, so that makes me happy because that means my predictions might be pretty spot on. Maybe. We'll see. I might have just got a walk on. I'm super excited about this. This is from the same author who did The Daughter of the Pirate King, also did Warrior of the Wild, 2 books that I highly enjoyed. So I was pretty excited. I think that her writing just keeps getting stronger and stronger, and then the synopsis of this is everything I could have ever wanted. This was actually the premise that I was doing for my last NaNoWriMo project. It is about a girl who has decided that, you know, she wants to be queen. So she is going to woo the Shadow King. She's going to marry him, and then she's going to murder him, and she's going to take the kingdom for herself. So I was like, someone wrote the book before I could, but someone is doing it. Now, the Shadow King is known for he cannot be touched. He's a little fierce. He has these shadows that like go all over his body, you know. And of course, once she gets into the kingdom and catches his eye, she realizes she's not the only one who is trying to kill him. So she got to keep his ass alive in order for her to kill him later down the line. So it is so much fun. I will say I went into this expecting a hate to love, and it's not, so just to give a fair warning about that, because that was actually one of the main reasons I went into it. I was assuming it would be a hate to love. The premise of this just sounds absolutely perfect. I thought honestly it was executed pretty well as well. There was a few things that I could see people having issues with. I'll have more about that in my wrap up, but for now, that was my 5-star prediction, and I am happy that I could say that I gave it a 5 stars. Next we have Home Before Dark, and this is Riley Sager's 2020 release for the year. Riley Sager is by far my most favorite thriller mystery author. Can't tell, but based on the description, it might be a little more paranormal. That is my only hesitation, because I don't tend to always love paranormal mysteries. Anytime it switches to the paranormal, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I don't honestly think it's going to be paranormal, just that the premise makes it sound like it could be paranormal. Listen, I trust Riley Sager. I trust him.
So this follows a woman who, her dad had become famous because he made this nonfiction book called The House of Horrors, which was his recounting of horrors that happened in this house that he had lived in. Well, she inherits the house, and she moves into it to try to remodel it in order to sell it, and she starts living these horrors. She never believed it before, but now weird things are happening, and there's some old relics in the house that hint at a very dark past.
I'm quite excited. It sounds a little bit like, what's the Netflix show? The Haunting of Hill House. Like, they move into this grand estate, and then weird shit starts happening. So, again, there is a hint that there might be some paranormal aspects. I have faith that Riley Sager will not disappoint me. So that is up there on my list just because I really love Riley Sager's work. I'm pretty excited to buy the premise. I did enjoy Haunting of Hill House, so I don't do scary, so hopefully it's not too scary. It sounds a little more on the horror side for my liking, but we will see. Enter Phoenix, who has been extremely needy recently. So the next book is another kind of mystery thriller. This is The Sea of Lost Girls. I'm very excited about this because I have found that I really like kind of these domestic mysteries, and this very much seems that way. I love when it follows like kind of a small town. This is about a woman who is a teacher at some academy, and her son, you know, has some dark moods and stuff, and she's a little concerned, and things seem to be going okay, and then she gets a call, in the middle of the night to come pick up her son, and she finds him. He is drenched dark liquid and he's distraught, and so she takes him home, and then hours later she finds out that the headmaster's daughter has been murdered not far from where she picked up her son. So then, as things begin to unravel, she also finds out that her husband is also a person of interest in this. So I am intrigued, and then of course as we learn more things out, we find out that this town and this academy has much more dark secrets than ever expected. So this sounds right up my alley. I'm very excited about this. I love these kind of domestic things that just center around a small town and the small town secrets. I'm a small town girl living in a fucked up world, and so I really relate to those things. Maybe not necessarily where my family murders someone, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm interested in this little small town drama that happens. So, hey, let's talk about the backlist books. First, we have The Secret History. I'm very excited about this. I honestly don't know much about this. A lot of people have recommended it to me. A lot of people compare it to If We Were Villains, which is one of my all-time favorite books. And I do believe it is like a dark academy book, finding out secrets type of book, and I'm very, very excited about it. The Dark Academy thing is right up my alley. That's one of my favorite kind of like tropes or whatever. I would look up the synopsis right now, but my hands are full. Next we have Illuminae. I've just heard everyone raving about this, and I personally really enjoy a really good mixed media book. They're pretty hard to come by, I feel like, but I really enjoyed them when they're done well. I've been hesitant about this because it is a sci-fi book. It's basically like the end of the world, and the first one follows like an ex-boyfriend and girlfriend who somehow get like sent, I don't know if they're sent on the same ship or if they're sent on ships together, and they're communicating and talking about how the world ended and like things like this. I found that I really like sci-fi if it only really focuses on the personal relationships between people. Like, I don't care about the world. I don't want really a lot of detail on new technology or anything like that, but if it's focusing on the people and the relationships, I'm a very character-driven person, I will really like them. So I think I would like this just because so many other people have liked it as well. Then we have Red Sister, and I'm very excited about this because I think people have compared it to Nevernight a good bit, and it follows female assassins. That's all I needed to know. That's it, and I am signed up. It's an automatic 5 stars for me. But I do believe that this follows a girl who was possibly orphaned, and she is taken in and trained as some sort of assassin or something along the lines of that. Next we have Into the Drowning Deep. Now, I think that this will be a 5-star because it is Seanan McGuire is the writer, although I think there's a pen name on it. And I am most excited about this because I love Seanan McGuire's type of fantasy. I love her writing. Very dark and eerie and very descriptive at the same time. I think that I will enjoy the writing style a lot, and then on top of that I think it's like Killer Mermaid Sirens. I don't even know. I have added these books and I'm like, I'm very picky about my 5 stars. Adds books that I know nothing about, but Killer Mermaids? Killer Mermaids? Yes. Group that had set off to make a mockumentary about the ancient sea creatures of legend, but it was lost at sea, and now a new crew has assembled, and they're not out to make a mockumentary. They want to basically seek the truth. And we follow Victoria Stewart, who is going to uncover the fate of the sister that she lost. But the secrets of the deep come with a price. Now, I've heard this has killer mermaids. Why did someone lie to me? Then we also have Girl Made of Stars. Now, I think that this will be a 5-star, but I've been hesitant to put it off because the topic I know is going to be so hard to read. And it is about a girl who has been raped by her best friend's brother, I believe, and basically her best friend's brother is like, no, that didn't happen, and her best friend has to decide whether or not she believes her friend or if she believes her brother. And I just can see this being a very hard book to read, but I also think it's going to be so impactful, and I will probably love it. Not like in that kind of sense, but just like I will just really end up loving the book overall. So, and it has really good reviews, and most of the people that I trust with reviews have given it really high ratings, so I think that will be a 5-star. Wow, we're ending on a depressing read, aren't we, Phoenix? That is it. Those are my 5-star predictions. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books. Well, the backlist books, I'm assuming. Let me know if you have liked them. I'm super excited to get around to these. I'm hoping to read these within the next year. Maybe we will revisit in a year and see if I truly did give these 5 5 stars. Yeah, that's how that works. If you guys have liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to see future videos from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye!